to tell the old stories of Jesus and his love.
Okay, this week we're going to talk about the wise men. Who were the wise men, and why did they follow that star? There isn't a lot of information in the Bible about them. And since not a lot is told of them in the Scriptures, people who study the Bible, called Bible scholars, have tried to figure it out from clues in the Bible and from what they know about history. First, let's read a little bit from the book of Matthew. Wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, "Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and have come to worship him." When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all of Jerusalem with him. And assembling all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. "Go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word, that I too may come and worship him." When they had heard the king, they went their way, and lo, the star which they had seen in the east went before them, till it came to rest over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. And going into the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then, opening their treasures, they offered him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. And being warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed to their own country by another way. There's a lot of information in there, and we're going to break it down a little bit. From that scripture reading in Matthew, it seems the wise men were people who watched the stars, and they also knew about the Old Testament. It also seems that they were not poor, because the gifts they brought, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, are considered very precious, and they were gifts of honor. The wise men are really the first figures that we have talked about that weren't the average everyday people. Isn't it interesting that we know the least about the richest people in the story of Jesus' birth? Some of the Bible scholars think they were astrologers. Astrologers are people who study the stars and the moon and the planets and how they interact with the human world. Do you ever look at the stars? I love to go out on a clear night and look up. I live in the country, so I see so many stars on a clear night. I often wonder as I look up, what did that star look like that the wise men saw? Some other Bible scholars think they were teaching priests, and still others call them kings, like in the song we'll sing at the end of this. Maybe they were a little bit of all three of these. Some scholars think the most important thing about them were the gifts they brought to Jesus, the gold, frankincense, and myrrh. We have talked about symbols in the past couple of weeks, like the Christmas tree and the candles. These gifts brought by the wise men might also be symbols of Jesus' life. Gold is a symbol of value or kingship, and this makes sense because Jesus is the most valuable thing we know, and kingship because Jesus is known as the King of Kings. The frankincense is a symbol of prayer or a priestly role. Again, these make sense because in his life, Jesus spent lots of time in prayer. Lots of time. And he spent lots of time teaching people about God and about how they should live and love. The myrrh is a symbol of suffering. We also know Jesus did a lot of that, especially at the end of his life. But he did it so we would understand about suffering. He suffered to save us and to give us life everlasting. The last thing the scripture tells us about the wise men in this story is that they were visited in a dream. And it seems all of them had the same dream. How cool is that? The dream told them not to go back and tell King Herod where they had found Jesus. King Herod did not really want to worship Jesus like he said in the scripture. He was very jealous because the wise men called Jesus the King of the Jews. He wanted to do bad things to Jesus. But the angels and the dreams continue to be a part of the story about Jesus' birth. So even though the wise men are a bit of a mystery, they are an important part of Jesus' birth and early life. And maybe they provided clues into his later life for the people of his time. Let's sing We Three Kings. It's a song about the wise men and the gifts they brought.
We three kings of Orient are bearing gifts. We traverse afar, field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Born a king on Bethlehem plain, gold I bring to crown him again. King forever, ceasing never, over us all to reign. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Frankincense to offer have I, incense owns a deity nigh, prayer and praising, all men raising, worship him God on high. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Myrrh is mine, its bitter perfume breathes a life of gathering gloom, sorrowing, sighing, bleeding, dying, sealed in a stone-cold tomb. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Glorious now, behold him arise, King and God and sacrifice. Alleluia, alleluia, thrills through the earth and skies. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
In the past couple of weeks, we have been talking also about our Advent wreath. So we do also want to sing our This Little Light of Mine song. And this week, it is the Light of Peace. So just like before, we'll sing the regular This Little Light Is Mine, and then we'll sing it with peace. and we'll share our peace with everyone. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of peace, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of peace, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of peace, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Have a great week.
Tune in next week for more of We Love to Tell the Stories.